Food is one of the few things us humans need to survive, along with water and air. Well, unfortunately, food seems to be one of the most expensive things out of the few things we just listed. So much so that some people completely rely on the government to feed themselves, while others work 24/7 to put food on the table. Well, today we're going to sit down and discuss the rising cost of living, mostly how it's affecting your kitchen alongside your wallet. And if you personally feel like you relate to anything discussed in today's video, feel free to like, comment your thoughts and opinions down below, and subscribe to see my daily uploads surrounding topics just like this. And I want to start this video off by giving a huge shout out to my Patreon supporters, my channel memberships, and everybody who just rocks with the content. You can check the details, all that stuff down below in the description. Those are some of the best ways to support the channel. Now, let's begin.
We're not going to talk about food costs because I'll get sued for it. You see, I'm one of the many people that makes up the food supply chain, meaning I distribute the food and someone's got to know how much it is to sell to the grocery stores.
Alright guys, listen up to this guy. This guy right here is actually one of the few people who actually make our society run and continue thriving. Now, the majority of people are right now struggling to fill up their refrigerators, their cupboards, and overall their kitchens. Well, it seems like the grocery stores don't really have too much of a problem keeping their shelves stocked. Now, this guy is one of the people who actually traffic our goods from place to place to make sure those shelves stay stocked for us, so that we can go into these stores and buy our overpriced goods and groceries. Well, he's going to actually explain how if the majority of the population came together and acted like a real community, we could actually uh, fight against this rising cost of living and this crazy inflation, at least in terms of groceries and goods, and how cheap we could actually get it for in, like, let's just say allegedly, because we don't want our buddy over here, our friend, to get sued.
A lot of us know a different food cost than you know, but we're not allowed to talk about it.
Interesting.
So I'm going to try and say something that won't get me sued. You see, my company is happy to sell food to anyone who can buy it at the price that the grocery stores buy it from. It's just that most people don't want as much food as the grocery stores are buying. But if a bunch of people got together and decided that they wanted to call themselves a grocery store and they pooled money together for the products they were already buying, I and my little company would be happy to sell my product to anyone who has enough money to buy it by the case. I guess what I'm saying here is instead of looking at politicians and looking for lower prices, maybe we could get them immediately if we just started looking at each other. Much love and respect.
You think your grocery prices are
Now,
bad?
this is absolutely insane to genuinely think about that. If only 500, 1,000, only a few, 100, few thousand people came together, only a small majority in terms of the overall community and the majority of the locations that most of us are located, we could actually outright beat out the grocery stores. We could be our own grocery stores. We could stock up for a month, 2, 3 months, at least as long as the expiration dates or the sell-by dates let us go to, and we could get our groceries for as cheap as the grocery stores get them. And can you only imagine how much or how cheap Walmart and Target pay to get their canned goods and their frozen foods and their drinks at the amount of bulk price that they're actually buying them at? It's absurd. And it makes sense though, because the more you buy, the lower you get. That's how pretty much everything in the world works. But at the same time, nobody really thinks about how if you have a big enough community, you guys come together, you could probably really fight against this rising cost of living. But unfortunately, people can't work together like that. People are enemies more so than friends. And respect thy neighbor has been thrown out the window for quite some time now. People are scared of their neighbors. We're nervous.
Look at my grocery prices.
Look at these grocery prices. Look, are you looking at some of these prices? What world are we living in? Look at that. And how is one supposed to fill up their fridge and feed their entire family? Having kids is a luxury these days, unfortunately. But that's just the damn right. That's the damn near truth.
I'm here to show you guys my grocery prices so you don't have to feel bad about yours.
Well, hopefully you feel a little bit better next time looking at some of these groceries. And I really want to put this into perspective. This is actually what some people have to go through when they're making their groceries. Depressing. It is depressing to say the least. And I really want to let you, I'm really curious, and I really want to have you guys comment down below in this video. What is your average grocery budget? What do you usually set aside in terms of grocery shopping? Or do you eat day by day? Do you eat week by week? Are you lucky enough to be able to shop in bulk where you can actually shop like 2 weeks in advance, maybe a month in advance for certain things like pop and water and like toilet paper per se? But either way, do you are you luxurious enough to have a Costco Sam's Club membership? Because if you're a part of that cult, apparently you're set for life or something like that. Uh, skip past this. There we go.
Dollar budget to see if I can buy a week's worth of groceries at Dollar Tree. I did a similar string of
All right, so the exact same shopping list, the exact same grocery list that she would usually take to Target or any of your natural normal grocery stores. She's gonna go to Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, so one of these dollar stores, and see if she can actually get the exact same stuff for a much better price.
videos last month, but that time I spent $27.50 and this time I'm spending $35. This way I have more wiggle room
Not
to
bad at all.
incorporate more snacks as that's what I missed most last time. Plus $35 equals out to about $5 a day, and I still feel like that's a relatively reasonable price to feed a single individual. Now, as is common practice with all of my budget grocery videos, I only shop at one Dollar Tree on one given day, and the only things I can use from home are oil, salt, and pepper. One other thing that I do differently from other budget content creators is I try to keep in mind that not everyone that's on a budget necessarily has hours on end to spend in the kitchen cooking food. And one final note is that I don't like calling these videos a challenge because someone out there only has $35 a week to spend on groceries, and this is
That is kind of ironic calling it a challenge when the majority of people actually live like this. I myself have been shopping at my local Family Dollar. It is a dollar store, even though the goods go up to $5 and the lowest is actually $1.25. There's no such thing as just a dollar without taxes, and even with tax, it's always more anyway. But that's besides the point. I really do want to put into perspective how it's kind of funny how a lot of these creators, influencers, these content creators call this stuff a challenge. When just like this lady right here, this lovely woman said, it is a lot of people's natural, normal life. And I really did like, as she pointed out, how a lot of the goods and ingredients she's getting still has to be made in the kitchen, which really helps you buy in bulk to make your meals a lot cheaper. If you're buying, let's say, a bag of rice, you can get a lot more servings out of that, which in turn will make a lot more meals. Versus let's say you don't have a nice kitchen to work with or a stove and you're just working with like a microwave or even less, you probably can't get some of these items. But let's just keep that in mind.
geared to help those individuals, so I feel like calling it a challenge sometimes makes a game out of someone's lifestyle. With all that being said, welcome to Budget Grocery Week number 2.
Well, we just got back from dumpster diving at some retail shops, and
Okay, this lady just said they just got back from dumpster diving at their local retail shops. And let's see what they got. Now, first of all, that I'm staring at that big bundle of Slim Jims. Jeez.
I wanted to show you guys our food haul. Look at all of this stuff. So many ketchups, so many preserved meats. That's what all of these right here are. Lots of tortillas.
Okay, I used to stock those preserved meats when I used to work at the last grocery store I worked at, and those are like 7 to 12 bucks a piece. So that right there, we're looking at $50 to $100 of just dried sausage right there. Now, a lot of these different goods, especially food items, at most big retail stores, most big grocery stores, they work with local food shelves near wherever they're located. So there might be a reason why a lot of these foods are in the garbage versus getting given to the needy or given to people who are in worse off situations than people who can buy them from the store. Now, fair enough. Sometimes things just can't get donated, or they turn them down, and they do just end up in the garbage. And if you know what days they throw things away, maybe you can find things that are not necessarily that bad. But if they've been sitting in the garbage overnight or 2, 3 nights, it's only a matter of time before mice get to them or any sort of rodents or critters outside.
Tortillas and taco kits, and then just some snacks and some drinks. Lots of Junior Mint boxes and tons of Slim Jims. This was a crazy food haul for us today.
I know for a fact that that dumpster over there is full of food. So we're gonna do a
And then the same thing. A lot of people have been wondering. Even in like one of my last videos, I pointed out I actually reviewed a video. I reviewed a few videos talking about these dumpster diving food hauls, which is absolutely insane to even put that into a sentence together, those words back to back. But it's a lot of people's realities. People are doing this to save money and make content, I guess. Now, it's debatable these people are putting this food in these garbage cans and then just recording the content to fake it to make it. But at the same time, the views are not. if you know the right day, this is how people do it.
Run, go over there and make sure it doesn't go to waste. The doors are actually open here because they're loading up trucks, so I'm trying to be quick. I'm not worried about what I'm doing is wrong or illegal. I'm more worried about them seeing me and then locking the dumpster up because people are in it. Because some people are like, that's my trash, you can't have my trash, that belongs to
Now, I was just saying before how maybe they put these in there. This is actually exactly how they come in the pallets when you work at these stores. This is a bunch of these Snyder's, like pretzels and chips and stuff like that. So I don't actually think this is fake. This might be real.
landfill, man, get out of here. Which, if you were throwing away like sensitive documents, maybe, but if it's food that can feed people, then you're definitely in the wrong. So,
all right, let's see what we got in these mystery
We got
boxes.
50 bags of chips. That's what's in there.
Oh, Snyder's, July 8th, 2023. This is old stock that didn't sell at some store.
I can't actually remember when this video was from. This might be from 2023 or 2024, so this video might be older. So I know we're now watching this in 2025, at least is when this video is being uploaded and recorded, but just keep in mind this video might be older. So these might not be as expired as 2 years, so like they seem to be right now.
And it gets sent back to the food distribution warehouse for them to dispose of it when it could be donated. When it comes to like recalls and stuff, it's really KISS, keep it simple, stupid. If it just expired, that's why they're throwing it out. Ooh, got lots of chips in here. What are these? These are soft molasses
Okay,
cookies.
he just gets a couple cookies and a couple more boxes of the same chips, but I do really want to put in perspective that I don't know if he's necessarily fully true. I would definitely look up the food shelf recalls and all of the different recalls that why grocery stores throw away these goods. Like I said earlier, I have worked at grocery stores in the past and many different retail stores. They usually donate a lot of these goods, and especially if it's food items. So there are many different reasons why they're in the garbage, and if they're there for more than 12 hours or a day, I don't think they're very cleanly because a bunch of different animals can definitely get to them. But I would love to know your guys' thoughts, opinions regarding how people are feeding themselves these days, how you're feeding yourself these days, and if you're struggling to keep food in the fridge, in the cabinets, and on the shelves, and overall your kitchen, or if you guys have a plan and tips for anybody down in the comments that people can write off of to possibly help themselves. So feel free to leave all those down below in the comments. I will say once again. And I want to give a huge shout out before I end this video to my Patreon supporters, my channel memberships, and everybody who just rocks with the content. You can check out all that stuff down below in the description. And those are some of the best ways to support me, my channel, and the content over here as a whole. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to eat as good as your wallet will allow you to. Then I will see you in the next one.